The Bouquet of Roses. Once upon a time, in a well known university, existed a love story of students as old as time itself. In this particular chapter, two bright souls, Johann and Rosemary, found themselves entangled in the enchanting threads of affection. Their relationships began when they both embarked on their academic pursuits at the Faculty of Natural Science. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months as they attended lectures, scribbled notes, and crammed for exams side by side. It was within the hallowed halls of academia that their hearts entwined and beautiful connection blossomed. Johann, a studious and gentle soul, was in love with the vivacious Rosemary. She possessed a merry spirit and a passion for the natural world that mirrored his own, and her name, Rosemary, hinted at her profound affection for a particular type of flora. The love story unfolded among the backdrop of the faculty in the botanical garden, where they often gathered for practical classes. Here, surrounded by the fragrant blooms and vibrant foliage, they forged their most cherished memories. They experimented tirelessly with various plants and flowers, their fingers stained with soul and hearts brimming with excitement. They rejoiced in the small victories, those moments when a delicate bud would unfurl into a beautiful blossom, a testament to their dedication and love. It was as if they were nurturing the seeds of their relationship along with the botanical wonders that thrived around them. In the midst of these green wonders, Rosemary dreamed of her own garden, a place where roses would reign supreme, where she could tend to her beloved flowers, and where their love story would continue to bloom. And so, in the midst of their shared passion for nature and each other, Johann and Rosemary's love story continued to flourish, like the most beautiful of roses in the garden, waiting to be discovered by those who truly appreciated its beauty. As the days turned colder, Johann and Rosemary continued to linger in the enchanting garden, their hearts warmed by their shared passion. But one fateful day, they lost track of time, and the chill of the evening crept in, making Rosemary shiver. Despite her best efforts to stay warm, she fell victim to the unforgiving cold, and the next morning she awoke with a fever and persistent cough. For several weeks, illness held Rosemary captive, leaving her weakened and unable to continue her studies. Johann, her ever devoted boyfriend, missed her deeply and sought ways to support her during this challenging time. To support the girl, he presented her with a vibrant bouquet of roses, a rainbow of colors that ranged from soft pink to fiery red and even a rare blue hue. The sight of the multicolored bouquet brought a spark of joy to Rosemary's eyes, even amidst her sickness. However, as days passed, the roses began to wither, and it pained her to think of discarding them. Determined to preserve the memory of those beautiful blooms, Rosemary took matters into her own hands. With a pair of scissors, she carefully removed all the wilted leaves and faded rosebuds, leaving behind only the sturdy green stems. Then, with precise cuts, she trimmed the tips of the stems, ensuring that the living green core remained untouched. Rosemary placed these rejuvenated stems into fresh water, covering them with an airy cap to allow them to breathe. She tended them attentively, all the while noticing that her cough began to fade away. She patiently waited for a month, watching with anticipation as new roots began to emerge from the stems. When the time was right, she delicately planted these stems in the fertile soil of her garden, each one carrying the promise of new life and the resilience of her love. As the roses took root and flourished in her garden, so did Rosemary's health return stronger than before. The vibrant, multicolored bouquet of roses had not only brightened her room but had also become a symbol of her strength and determination to overcome adversity. And in their shared garden, Johann and Rosemary's love story continued to bloom, nurtured by the beauty of nature and their unbreakable bond. With the arrival of spring, the earth was bathed in the warm embrace of the sun. The first tender leaves emerged on the once barren stems, and small buds began to appear in their tips. Rosemary's heart raced with anticipation as she eagerly awaited the moment when her beloved roses would reveal their colors. Throughout this time, she had kept the secret excitement hidden from everyone. Her heart and hopes nestled within the fragile buds on those green stems. Day by day, she watched over them, tending to their needs and nurturing their growth in quiet solitude. Then, one day, as she ventured into her garden, she was greeted by a breathtaking sight. The rosebuds had unfurled, revealing petals in shades of pink, red, orange, white, and even a mesmerizing shade of blue. Her astonishment was immeasurable, for she had never imagined that her experiment would yield such stunning and diverse results. Overjoyed by the beauty that had sprung from her efforts, Rosemary couldn't contain her excitement. The very next day, she called her boyfriend Johann, urging him to come and witness the splendor of her secret garden. It was her way of expressing her profound gratitude for his unwavering support during her illness and her experiment. As Johann joined her in the garden, their eyes met, and a shared sense of wonder washed over them. The vibrant colors of the roses mirrored the vibrancy of their love, which had grown even stronger through the trials that had faced together. Their friendship had provided a pillar of strength during times of hardship and uncertainty, a reminder that true bonds only deepen when tasted by life's challenges. In the blossoms of her garden, Johann and Rosemary found a reflection of their enduring love, a love that had weathered storms and bloomed even more brilliantly in the warmth of their shared moments. And so, beneath the radiant sun of spring, Johann and Rosemary stood hand in hand, their love as vibrant and beautiful as the multicolored roses that graced their garden, a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the boundless beauty of love.